Cute moms on stereo, big bands on the radio, hold hands on the rodeo, red leaves like a miracle. Red skies in the sky like a radio, red leaves like a leaf like a miracle. Red skies in the sky like a radio, red leaves like a leaf like a miracle. Cute moms on stereo, big bands on the radio, hold hands on the rodeo, red leaves like a miracle.
What's going on? Good night. Sorry I wasn't here this morning. I'm gonna be honest. I slept until 1 o'clock, and I was woken up by the sound of like DoorDash being like, "Hey, you just scheduled yourself 15 minutes ago." Last night was the first night that I didn't charge my Apple Watch. I didn't realize how on track my Apple Watch has got me to wake up. So, not doing that again. My Apple Watch right now is at 79%, so it'll be good tonight. That was rough. That was rough. Well, what's going on? First off, Sloth, you said going to jail tonight? You are? Why is that? Why are you going to jail? What? Straight to jail. Give me a story on that. That's content. What's happening? Bitcoin still up on its retest. Ethereum kind of just hanging out. Not doing too much. Probably the biggest headliner today would probably be US 100. US 100 did go for a crazy retest to the upside. It put in that higher high, but then since got rejected. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's the ABC top right there. I was hoping this would have been it when we came back down below right there, but it seems like it just doesn't want to give up. SPY as well came up for a retest. Hopefully these get rejected. But other than that, everything kind of just sitting gently, not really moving too much. DXY hasn't really dumped off a cliff or anything like that, so still doing good. He said Crow partnered with Amazon and Samsung. I doubt that. Listen, man. I doubt it. Amazon, Crow. Okay. Listen, man. All right. They didn't partner with Amazon. They partnered with Amazon Web Services. Do you know who uses Amazon Web Services? Like 90% of the websites that exist. It's like one day, like I remember a couple months ago, like it seemed like the entire internet went out. That's because Amazon Web Services went out. And because pretty much the entire internet is domained on Amazon Web Services, that's why. They didn't partner with Amazon. It's not like the Amazon.com where you shop. You can use Crow. that would be news. And then you said Samsung, right? Samsung Crow. So I feel like it would be one of the top search results here. I feel like that is some overhyped news for sure to get some gullible people. Because you look 2 seconds into it, it's Amazon Web Services, and I don't see anything about Samsung. But we'll take a look at the chart for sure. Crow. I mean, it had a decent pump. It's not anything crazy. I mean, when the Litecoin account, official Twitter, got hacked and claimed they were partnering with Walmart, that was a crazy pump. That's what you would expect from a partnership of that scale. This doesn't seem like a crazy pump to me. We did put in this ABC right here. Since then, have came back down. Brother, check Twitter. Listen, man, I just checked Google. I see the article about Crow partnering with Amazon Web Services. All right. If they partnered with official Amazon.com where you do shopping and, you know, whatever Samsung's got going on, the pump would be more insane than this. All right. That was... Hey. That would be monumental. Good pump, but I feel like it was for gullible people, where they just hear the word Amazon and Crow together and then go, "We made it." No. No. Frank, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man? Fishy. No more food. You got it. You got all of your food. All gone. Fish is having a hard time figuring out what wet dog food means. He eats all of it in in just a minute and a half. And he's like, where'd it all go? There's supposed to be an endless bucket that I have access to. Where did it all go? We still doing boomer support, Frank? I'm trying to get Autumn to find a job like that. It's hard though. I was trying to get her to find like data entry or something like that so she can work from home. You stole too many hearts, now you're going to jail? Damn, man. I started intermittent fasting on Sunday. Haven't pooped for 4 days. I'm blaming you. I mean, is it painful? Because listen, like, I love the feeling of pooping. Don't get me wrong. It's one of the great joys of life. But if I got 4 days without a poop, that's just time saved. Now, if it hurts, then you got a problem. I don't know, does your diet have too much fiber in it? I don't know what's going on. You gotta tell me, man. To me, like, I do the... Fish, can you knock it off, please? You got your food. I'm gonna take that bowl in a second and put it up here. Don't do that. You're just smacking the bowl around. I know you were in Denver, but I didn't know if you kept the same job because it was a remote work. Work for a company doing IT work, pretty insane. I have a salary and shit, insane. Smoke weed. That's what's up, man. That is what's up. For me, it's like clockwork in terms of the pooping thing. Getting back to the poop. On the one meal a day, like 30 to 45 minutes after I eat my first meal of the day, it's toilet time, baby. It's clockwork. So like I can plan around it. I know that like I don't want to be in the middle of a dash 30 to 45 minutes after I just ate. So, I mean, you know, like, I'll do a quick little dash to get the day started, go grab food, eat, do a little dash. It takes me 20 minutes, sit in the parking lot, wait for it to hit me, go to Five Guys, because Five Guys' bathroom is clean, because people are courteous in Five Guys. And then we're on our day. Out there scooting and pooping. I'm trying to like get my life together, Frank. I'm gonna be honest. I'm good at making money, not good at spending it. So I'm trying to rearrange how I do things, trying to pay off debt, get debt free, and just pretty much like whatever my life is now, I'm just gonna shift it over to investments instead of monthly payments. Because I got a good chunk of crypto sitting in a cold storage wallet, but at this point in time with the losses, and as far as I know, you can't claim capital losses anymore. And since most of it was made on Bybit anyways, I can't claim any capital losses there either. I would rather wait until like the top of the next bull market to withdraw that. Otherwise, the taxes are just going to eat it all up. And then what's the point in even withdrawing it? I'd rather just sit on it. Fishy. Okay, we're done. We're done. Revoking his bowl privileges. Get This dog, man. This dog. But we're down. I didn't lose much yesterday. I lost maybe like 0.2 pounds. So I'm down to 192. Hopefully tomorrow. Be down a little bit more. Okay, how do you choose a time frame to draw your ABC? For example, scrolling out on a 1 hour chart rather than using a 4 hour chart zoomed in a bit more. Just it's hard to say like one specific time frame is better than the other. As long as you're on like a 1 to 4 hour, try to stay zoomed out. You want the setup to be easily visible. All right, so if I'm on this chart here, I'm a tree. Turn most of this off. All right, when I look at this, I just want to be able to see it from a higher perspective. So you can see like if I'm looking at it on a 4 hour chart, I don't have to zoom in to see stuff like this. I don't have to zoom in to see stuff like this. All right. Now, if you're going down to like a 1 hour chart and you're zooming in a little bit more, you're going to start seeing little tiny trends like this, which, yeah, like there's always going to be that guy that goes, but it worked. Yeah, it did. But I'm looking for stuff that is going to be major market shifts, stuff that I can hold on to for a month, 2 months, 3 months. Who's to say that this little tiny trend wasn't just a little uptick and then we're going to flop back over? Okay. So try to stay on the higher time frame if you want to be that guy. If you do want to trade smaller time frames, no shame. But it's not something I'm looking forward to doing. I'm a contract. Wait. Hold on. Sloth. What? I'm a contractor and they need maintenance on their roof. So technically I'll be locked in jail for a couple hours. I feel like I'm missing a part of the story on that. I feel like there was no bridge between those two sentences. I don't know how they kind of string together on that. Did you just like fuck up someone's roof? Is that what happened? Did you like poop on their roof? I don't know. Now, I did take a trade on DYDX. Still a little bit confused on how the leverage works, because I anticipated using $80 in margin, And then because I'm using 20x leverage, so when I did all the calculations for it, it told me to use 1,300 contracts. So because of the way I was noticing that DYDX worked, it looked like it preferred to use contracts instead of like actual USD amounts. So because of that, I just typed in 13,333. But instead of using the 20x leverage, which I should have been using, the leverage changes depending on where the position is. It's a little bit confusing. I'm not sure if I'm making the correct amount or going to lose the correct amount. So this is kind of like a test trade. If I lose, I should be losing roughly around $30, $35. So we'll see. And it's kind of like a traditional market where when you open the trade, there's not like a take profit and stop loss button where you can set up what price to do that at. You're going to have to set up a separate trade. So go to the stop function and then hit stop market and then set up the stop. So if you're in a sell short position, your stop would be a buy long position. So you're just doing the opposite. And then you set it up for the same exact amount of contracts that you filled it with. So in this case, 13.5. So I don't know like how it technically is calculating the leverage because it's not exactly working how Bybit works. But if everything works out appropriately, then who cares? I guess you just have to worry about contracts at that point and what the risk reward calculator is telling you, and then let it figure out its leverage for itself. It's very weird. But you can see I have about $84 on here because I'm at a $15 loss right now with the Bitcoin trade going up. But I put $100 on here last night for the Bitcoin trade, so I need 80 plus a little bit of extra margin just in case. And I had a buying power of roughly, I think like 2,000. So give me that many contracts I needed to work with. Kind of confusing, but like I said, if I'm losing the correct amount, that means I'm probably going to be making the correct amount. So in the end, it really doesn't matter. All that matters is I have an option to trade with. The conditionals, that's maybe the limit would act as a conditional if it is going in that direction. I would assume that, and then if it's a correct limit, it would just fill it like a regular limit. That is something I have not figured out yet. We'll have to see. But I took the Bitcoin trade off of this ABC here. And unfortunately, we have pumped up a little bit past it. But my stop is up here, so we're still chilling. Killing time. But it's a cool little UI. It just shows you up front, shows you a liquidation price. The funding is kind of cool. It seems like the funding happens every single hour. You can see I have a couple different, I have like 25 funding trades here. So since I'm in positive funding rate, I lost money. It's like a fraction of a cent, 2 cent, 3 cent, 2 cent, 1.5 cent, 2 cent, fraction of a cent. And then the funding rate starts getting closer to zero. So I start making money. So yeah, kind of cool to be able to look at that in real time. Makes it a lot easier to look at what funding's doing. Okay, you see what happened to me in the cord? I have not. What am I looking for? Is this it? You're gonna have to let me know. The one thing I've said in the back, set up in the background that I haven't done in quite a long time was we have a year until the halving. So I've set up a $8 a day contribution to just pure Bitcoin. Just have something in the background that I'm not going to notice. I think that's a good idea. And by this time next year, it'll be worth about $3,000 invested. And then hopefully we get like a little 5x on this next bull market. That's what my hope is. So maybe 100, 150K. 120K wouldn't be bad. So why'd you stop trading on Bybit? Unfortunately, Bybit is going full KYC on May 8th. So if you don't submit your documents in terms of verification, you won't be able to open trades. So we had to find out an alternative. It sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. Like someone in the comments, they were like, I'm very sad that you blame the UK. I don't think I blame the UK, and I'm not saying that it's the UK's fault. I'm saying that if Bybit wants to go public in the UK, then they have to do a forced KYC in order to get on the public stocks. That's all. You see that ass up in the top right corner? Very nice. Where is it at? As a Bybit UK user, I cannot believe your remarks on the UK are to blame for Bybit's demise. I don't think I've ever used Bybit's demise, and I didn't blame them. I just said, like, that's the reason. Apparently, that's the reason. Like, if they want to get listed on the UK public stock exchange, they gotta be full KYC. That's all. What's up, Kite? Why 8 and not 10? I just hopping on for a little bit because I didn't hop on this morning. If you're talking about time. As far as I know right now, the wording makes it seem like they're not going to make you force close your positions. They might. I mean, that might be a given. But it just said that you cannot open any new positions and you cannot add to any current positions. They didn't say that they're going to force you to close your current positions. So, like, I have an Ethereum short open right now on Bybit. So there's a chance that I'll be able to maintain that short open and let it, make its profit, take profit on it later, cash it out, send it over to DYDX. I mean, like $8 a day. I don't know. I feel like I spend $8 a day roughly on like McDonald's. And since right now I'm doing one meal a day, and it's going to be probably a month or two before I go back to 2 meals a day. My bank account's used to $16 a day worth of food. So I feel like $10 a day, $300 a month versus $8 a day. I just wanted something that I really wasn't going to notice leaving my bank account. So I don't know. Weird number, I know. Just at first it was 5, but then I just wanted to get to a round number of $3,000 invested for a year. So I figured, hey, $3,000 extra that I just don't notice is leaving my wallet. And then by that time, the bull market will start to get going and it'll be worth a lot more. I've had liquidations above 32K and 2K, and still I don't know. So that's why I test small. Basically put 2 trades to test without stop loss, and then price ripped up and never hit liquidation, but somehow I got my entire account liquidated. Okay. Hopefully, like you said, hopefully it was a small amount if it was your entire account. That's rough. Auto buy on Coinbase has massive fees. I'm going through Robinhood. Just because it's easy. I try to get the auto buys set up on Kraken, but for some reason, it wasn't really giving me the option. I would have to deposit cash on the Kraken, and then Kraken would pull from those funds each and every single day. I think it's just a good practice in general. Like I've preached it in the past for people that just don't want to even think about it. But it truly is just a good idea. Like if you have something that can, an amount that can leave your wallet every single day and you don't notice it, and it just stacks up in the background without you doing anything, especially when it's invested in something like Bitcoin. There's other things like tickers like QQQ, ETF investment funds. We can get some dividends paid out, stuff like that. Those are good as well. Yeah, I'm not worried about this crypto. So this crypto specifically, the $8 a day, that is pure just investments on the books that can be tracked and taxed, that I can withdraw, no issues at all. That was a really good rhyme scheme right there. So yeah, like I know it can't be transferred off of Robinhood, but that's the thing. Like Robinhood to me has shown in the past that they can be quite fucking ridiculous when it came to the whole GameStop thing and them shutting down trades. But I've never really seen anything sketchy when it involved crypto. So like I said, $8 a day. It's not like I'm putting millions of dollars on there. It's just specifically I just wanted to set up something in the background where it's just doing it automatically. And Robinhood was the only one where it could actually pull from my bank account daily. Like I said, Kraken, I would have to remember to refill the account and have it do that. Well, if they shut down trading on BTs like GameStop, I believe when I see it, they've never done that in the past. They didn't do this bull market. GameStop was like historical, and I think it's a whole other issue than Bitcoin. Like if anything did happen, yeah, I would just remove it, sell it, transfer that money over to Kraken, buy the Bitcoin back. No BTC short? I have a BTC short right here on DYDX. I took my entry off of this this A, and we're currently above it. When is an ABC invalidated? When a significant ABC of the same size is created, like in the way of it. So like, let's see if I can find an example of that. Okay, so like this. All right, so let's pretend everything past this point does not exist. All right, so everything to the right here from this line. Okay, so going up, we have a downtrend, so we can call this our A to B, and then we have the C wave. All right, we came back down below the C wave. Everything's going good. All right, so this is currently our first and foremost ABC. All right, that's the only one. That's the one that we're paying attention to. Now, once we create an ABC that's significantly larger, that one is of no importance to us anymore. This one right here. So that's when it would be invalidated. This point is the only point that matters. This one no longer matters because it's already been broken through. But I mean, if we came up and we put in a higher high off of 31,073, all right, then I would no longer pay attention to this level. I'll be paying attention to A to B to C. So the daily buys is strict like a swing trade until the bull market. Now we're looking to put into cold storage, right? It'd probably be transferred to cold storage at some point. So like at the top of the next bull market. I do want to kind of start leaning a little bit more towards spot trading and starting to officialize talks about like as my portfolio has been growing over the past couple of years, it's no longer a little baby portfolio where I can get by just doing this and that. So for much larger moves, I do need to start using utilities that are, on the books, in order to make sure that everything's good on tax documents. You ever stop chasing the short? Because man, this has been frustrating the short. No, I don't. If the market's showing me a resistance and we put in a slightly higher high and we come back down below that, I'm gonna short it. I tried shorting here. I tried shorting here. I didn't try shorting this at all. I tried shorting this. Unfortunately, because of the whole mishap with Bybit's chart and all that, there was an extra short here. So it is what it is. But I think it's all perspective. Like, yeah, it's frustrating, but you look at the massive win from the long. So what's a couple losses trying to short, making sure that we grab a top that potentially could come all the way back here. So frustrating, yes, but all for nothing, no, because it can never be all for nothing. You don't know. So if the market's showing me it's weak in certain places, I'll take the trades. Do market has liquidity now? Does market have liquidity now for your spot buying? I mean, it's always had liquidity. So I mean, that's not really the issue. It's just I want to take it a little bit more seriously because I mean I've been so leverage oriented. This next bull run, I want to focus on just hammering a little bit more on my spot portfolio on side of things, just paying attention to macro levels, selling when they get broken, buying back at lower supports, and just trying to get like a massive portfolio going, and just pay a little bit more attention to the bottom line and take a little bit less risk out of it. Because as like the portfolio grows, I no longer have the zest to be ultra risky with things. It just doesn't make sense to do that. So I'm still gonna be a leverage trader. I love leverage. Like I said, portfolio exposure. It's great. But there's a time and place for spots. And definitely in the next bull market, be paying a little bit more attention and making sure that the cash out is at the correct time. Am I hedged in a long? No. Technically, we did put in the hedge that I was talking about on Ethereum, but I did not want to open that because obviously I won't be able to use Bybit in a little bit anyways. And it just happened so fast that unfortunately I didn't even get to have the opportunity to even really think about it. But looking at it, I probably wouldn't take that anyways. It's too fast for me to say like that was a real trend. It could have been a freak out over some reason, but definitely would come back down a little bit further, maybe. I wish it was a little bit thicker, you know? We like those thick trends. When they're super skinny like that, it kind of off puts me and just doesn't make me feel like it's a legitimate move. Can you chart cake for ABC? Levels to DCA? That's a coin that hasn't come up in a long time. Well, let's look at it. Well, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't look good at all. Like there's nothing over here to find support levels off of. So I'm gonna be honest, like unless we get back above this level here, or if we put in a lower low off of this level and then come back above it, there's no real super opportunity to get into cake. I mean, we definitely could be going into something very similar to what happened back here. I don't think that it would be quite as extreme. I mean, there is perhaps a chance for 48K, but obviously we have to break through 32K first. Then we can start talking about 48K. But if it does end up looking similar to this, then obviously we always talk about the ABCs. And I've said in the past, all right, obviously at the end of this bear market, we had the ABC, but we also had we had an Adam and Eve, my bad. Always used to saying ABC. We had an Adam and Eve. It was pretty much the entire market itself. I mean, we could get something very similar, but let's not forget that even though we got bullish at this point, did not mean that the bull market was starting. All right, we were the halvening didn't happen until over here. All right, and so we had a gigantic dump before the halvening. All right, so even though we did have a gigantic pump for a retest, that's all it was. It was a retest. And then we came back down, a little bit of a retest, came back down. So that's the thing. Like, even if this is going to be a similar structure to what happened over here, this will eventually come. Do not be naive. The retest will always happen as long as the mathematics are on the side of downside. So that's why I'm preparing for short positions. Like I said, if we get a long position, I'll take it. I'll ride it up as far as it goes. But there will come a point where it folds over like this one did. That's the thing. Like, if this is what happens, it is going to be kind of bad for the process of buying $8 a day. But it might give us some levels to tweak with and play with, and be able to maybe maximize that number before the bull market starts to get going. But let's say that we're in this point right now. All right. So we're probably about right here, if that's the case scenario. All right, so we have roughly a whole year of like sideways price action to get some DCAs in and let it rip to the upside. I still have money set aside that, like, if we hit some of these macro local lows, I have a spot portfolio with a couple DCAs already in. And as I learned more about the market, I did maximize my DCAs in a sense. So, for example, marking out the local lows of the previous uptrend of the bull market, these were my two biggest DCA points right here and right here. All right. But obviously, adding little sprinkles on top never hurts. And your DCAs don't have to be static. All right. It's all up to you on how you want to play the market. You could have static DCAs, 50-50, 50% here, 50% here. You get an average DCA of about 21,000. Not too bad of a number. But if you want to be the type of guy that maximizes their money, of course, if you're sitting at a local low support, you could give it a buffer of about 5%. And if that 5% breaks, you sell off that DCA and wait for the lower local low, and you add all of it back there. And the money that you lost, that 5%, obviously will be made up for if that is the support that holds. So that's what I intend to do next bull market as well, and make a lot of money off of it. When Lambo, probably like 2025, but I'll never buy a Lambo. Lambos are not my style. They're cool, they're fast, but like, okay. That's pretty cool. To me, like, I'm not the type of guy that's gonna go out of my way to go to a track just to go zoom once or twice, waiting in a line of 40 people that want to go zoom as well, just to find out that, like, I could have gone and Googled my 0 to 60 number. But yeah. What's your style? What I need. And that's something I'm learning what I need all the time. So I mean, I bought the Mercedes. I didn't like outright buy it. Obviously, I got a loan for it. Put a good bit of money down. And it was an awesome car. The only thing is like, after you have it for a year, it's just a car. Everything that was special about it in the beginning, no longer special. The one thing from the Mercedes, the one thing that I truthfully miss, that I don't have in the car that I have now, is that when you approach a stoplight, you could push the brake down just a little bit further and it'll put it in hold mode and you can take your foot off the brake. That is innovation. That is something that's awesome. Everything else is more just like creature comforts, big, decent sized seat, but everything else is just like stylish. It doesn't really add any utility to the vehicle. It doesn't give you anything that you need. It's just bonus points for style and making it look cooler to someone else. I don't really care what I look like. All right, as long as it's comfortable to me and I like it, gets good gas mileage, good to go. No Teslas for you? Teslas I like. I think they're pretty awesome. Obviously, I need to take extensive research looking at like all the pros and cons, but I do like the idea of a Tesla. It's just right now it just doesn't really suit me. Maybe once the car market crashes, then I'll probably go start taking a look. But I want to move to the style of like being a little bit more grown about how I approach some of these investments. So with cars, I fell into the trap of like with the Mercedes, I put like 25,000 down, but then I did like a 72-month loan, so I had cheaper payments, which obviously with that car, because it depreciates so fast in the beginning, but then holds on to it towards the middle. I did fall into negative equity, but I want to be the type of person that can put like 75% up front on a car and have really cheap payments. That way I can get gap insurance as well. Just in case anything happens to the car. Just have a bike and makes grocery runs difficult. I feel you, man. If I lived in like a little bit bigger city where like it made sense, I'd probably just have like an electric bike and then drive my bike to the like city center and then do DoorDash on an electric bike. I feel like that'd be cool and efficient. But unfortunately, I live in like, just a general town where everything's so far apart. But yeah, I want to be a little more efficient with how I do things. Obviously, the ultimate plan is once everything gets rolled over and I get my own little settlement and then I get a car fully paid off that I know I'm going to hold on to for probably 5 to 10 years. Because like the whole upgrade thing, I got the E-Class Mercedes and I immediately traded up to an S-Class Mercedes and then was already talking about trading up to a 2021, 2022 Mercedes. It has to stop at some point. Like that mentality is so freaking hurtful. And I got caught up in it. Please TA ETH. The only thing that really matters to me on ETH right now is this high time frame ABC. The lower time frames, there's nothing really interesting going on. Like I said, there is technically an ABC, like right here, but with it being so thin and so fast, I wasn't able to catch it, and I just don't necessarily believe like that's the only retest that will happen if we're going to continue to come back down. I'm starting to get a lot more control back in my life, during the bull market, just, had an Adderall prescription, had stupid amounts of cash coming in. You can get lost in that very easily. But now that the bear market's here, just kind of settling back, taking a look at how everything's transpired. Not living that way at all. I'm not going to live like that. Getting control back in terms of like the food I eat, losing weight. Obviously, I'm going to start doing the calisthenics thing. I'm going to start looking at finances differently, much more long term. Because obviously, a lot of money is always the goal. But how you get to a lot of money, I want it to be simple. I want it to be easy. I want it to be something methodical where I don't have to stress about it. Because, yeah, you can go leverage trade, the 1 minute time frames. And if you are extremely good at it, of course, yeah, do you become a millionaire. But the amount of stress that you're going to go through during that period of time, I don't think it's necessarily worth it for the payout if you're patient, methodical, and you do things correctly. And I feel like people are stuck in this mindset where they need it now. And you don't. All right? Obviously, there's necessities. You need a decent car to get you from A to B. You need somewhere to sleep. But other than that, just focus. I'm not trying to go like full Sigma grind set and say like you need to work 12-hour shifts 7 days a week, put everything into a 401k. No, not saying that. But prioritize. California Slots, thank you. I appreciate that. He said, "Hey, Mr. Kite, make some trading for dummy videos." I feel like I got a good amount, don't I? I have the ABC tutorial, which is on my channel for free, and I have the risk to reward tutorial. And I feel like, as far as trading goes, that's it for me. Obviously I can do like just a simple spot tutorial video, but yeah, I could do something like that. what's enough for you? Well, the ultimate plan is to have a subdivision for family and friends, also known as a doomsday compound. All right. Um, well, it's going to be built like a subdivision, and then copy and paste that into rentals where I can create like a neighborhood of like a close knit community where the houses are close together. Obviously, privacy is a must, but that's the whole point of the community. It's like you have people that you talk to, get along with. It's going to be highly vetted who comes in, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be pet friendly. It's going to be people friendly. There's going to be amenities. And then once I have a couple of those and I have a nice little place going and everything is sufficient in terms of funding and all that kind of stuff, I do want to expand it outwards to like a health and treatment center. Either that would involve me getting a couple degrees to oversee things, or I would have to contract it out and have, like certified doctors come in and all that kind of stuff for evaluations. But stuff like dark retreats and fasting retreats and just general like group therapy kind of stuff. Something that like I feel like there's opportunities out there, but I don't feel like they're really accessible where I'm at. So like that's the ultimate goal, is have a lifestyle where it's not exuberant and I'm not showing off because I want to have money, but I don't want me having money be my outward facing appearance and why people are attracted to me. Obviously I need money in the bank for my family's future, but other than that, like I'm good. Like if me and my, future family can get by with 1,000 square foot household, that's self-sustaining, I'm good to go. Like I don't need a gigantic house. I've always my entire life I've pretty much lived a minimalist lifestyle. So why I don't see like a huge pro to going to like, the 10K square foot house, all that kind of stuff. Unless you have a lot of people living with you. I don't know. That's the only reason why I would see you would do it. How many kids? Probably 1 or 2. I'm not going to go full Mormon and go have like 7 kids. But I feel like 1 or 2 is fine. And I want to do what most people don't. Start putting away money. Like even though I don't have a partner right now, but I want to start putting away money. So like whenever it does come up, maybe by accident or maybe it's planned to have a kid, like I have, 180K set away in a bank account for all the expenses that come along with it. Hospital bills, diapers, all the stuff for the next couple of years that kid's going to need. That way there's no stress. Because that's the major thing I feel like with a lot of couples is they don't plan on it and then it happens and they now have to start working longer hours, which obviously with having a new kid, that sucks because you need to spend time with the kid during those early stages. So, just thinking forward and thinking about it even before it's a problem. So if I start saving for it now, it makes it easier on me and my partner in the future. So I feel like, when you're a couple, like that can put a lot of stress on people and can cause divorces and all that. Because then the dude feels like he's been put in a stressful situation, all that kind of stuff. Just always thinking ahead. Quarter, what's going on, man? Yeah, I've been dealing with that, struggling to figure out what time frame to trade. I stick to the higher time frames, anything from a 1 hour to a 4 hour. It all depends on like how big the structure is getting. Like right now, I'm sitting on a 1 hour time frame, fully zoomed out, and I can see what I need to see. Right now, that's roughly the level that I'm trading. Obviously, if we go put in a higher high, I'll start trading this level. What's the dating life? I'm sure you clean up with the chicks. No, not yet. Not yet. I don't know. I don't put a lot of time into it, which some people say is bad, some people say is good. I just like I grew up with friends that it seemed like their entire personality that is that if they're not currently looking for a girlfriend or whatever, like their life isn't complete. And they get stressed and depressed over it. That's just never really been me. Like I'm just a solo dolo type of dude. If someone comes along and like I actually like someone, of course. But other than that, like I don't like actively chase it. I'm not on Tinder. I'm not on Bumble. You know, which is actually like not the normal in today's day and age. So I don't know. I don't really stress out about it. Once everything's like free and clear, and I know like that's not a excuse because it's not like an excuse. I just think about life in a different way, and I want the relationship to be free and clear. Like that is my goal at that moment in time. So like right now, my goal is like paying off debts and making sure taxes are good and making sure that like I got all my strategies figured out on how I'm gonna manage my money, all the savings account, and start building that side of my life. That way, when a relationship comes along, the relationship is where my attention goes rather than all of this. So I just don't want to meet someone, really like them, but then have to divvy up my time so severely where I'm only seeing them 25% of the time. Is KuCoin safe for leverage trading? I won't say like any website's safe 100%, but I mean KuCoin's been around for like 2 bull markets, so I mean it's got some trust. It's been around. I don't have any personal experience with KuCoin, so I can't really tell you 100%. But I mean, if it has leverage, you can always practice portfolio exposure. You don't have to have your entire portfolio on KuCoin at one time. So if you want to take a chance on it, take a chance on it. Finally picked up like a $20 trimmer. I don't know what like all beard trimmers are like this weird thing nowadays. I feel like the ones that actually work are the ones that just go like this, back and forth. They have these weird ones that look like little like rollers. I feel like they're stupid and they're inefficient. But now I can keep my beard trimmed down. Doesn't look like I'm turning into Santa Claus. Because as I'm losing weight, I want to see the results on like my jawline. Main reason. Ever thought about van life? I don't think it's necessarily for me because everybody always says like go see the world, which I agree with, but at the same time, like I don't really have that urge. Like everybody's always they want to get away from their current environment, which to me there is like some truth to that, but it's also like I feel like it's an innate thing where it's like you think what around you sucks because the way that you're living your life sucks. Not saying this for every person that lives van life, no. But the thing is like if I ever felt like I needed to leave home, I would want to look at why that is first. Because if I make everything around me as great as I possibly can, that's home. I just, to me, I never really I don't be like super mobile. Like, yeah, I'll take vacations over here and over there. Just go see it once, but I feel like there's a lot more to see in life than the world. You use TurboTax or you literally do it yourself? I've used TurboTax in the past, but I think I'm gonna start going to a tax specialist because if you go to someone that knows what the fuck, like what they're really doing, um, you usually get off a little bit better. TurboTax, obviously, they make everything easy. You just do it straight from your computer. But if you go to someone that really knows what they're doing and you pay them well, you'll end up spending a lot less money at the end of the year. The one thing that I really want to invest in is like a legitimate cold plunge. Because I mean, it is now that it's summertime, it's much more difficult for me to do a cold plunge because the water is like 65 degrees. So yeah, like when you first get in, it's cold because obviously it's a little bit of a shock, but it's not cold. Like after you're in it for a minute, you're fine. So like I have to get like bags of ice and bring it back home. That's like $5 if I want to take an ice bath a day, and spend $150. I feel like over the course of a year, it's much more cost efficient if I can learn how to do the deep freezer method and hook everything up. But I don't know where I would put it necessarily. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna be heading off now. Gonna go talk to Johnny and Monk for probably an hour and a half. Wear my Apple Watch to bed so I can actually wake up tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see where crypto is tomorrow morning. And I hope all of you have good nights and good days wherever you're at. And I'll see you soon. Kind of sad I'm out of Liquid Death. I'm starting to become the guy that actually likes water, which is a good thing. I still have a Coke every once in a while, but I mean, water's good. Now, I only drink when I'm thirsty. That's the difference, though. Coke, you can drink it anytime. Water, I can't really drink it all the time. Like, I have to wait until I'm thirsty, go buy a can of Liquid Death, and then chug it. And I'm like, oh my god, that tastes so good. But we're getting there. We're doing it. Inception. All right. Good night, guys. I will see you tomorrow morning for another day. We didn't do Wordle, but I'll do it tomorrow morning, I promise. Bye!